episode 23 of the GPP, and this one is going to blow your brains straight through your booty because it's a banger. You guys know I'm a big fan of alliteration, and that one is about as good as it gets. We've actually got a brand new segment today. Brand new. Never been featured before on season 2 of the GPP, and that's a tier list. What are we going to be ranking? Stay tuned to find out. If you've been watching the show for the last month, 2 months, you can probably guess roughly what I'm going. It's been a memes and things frequent occurrence, so it's coming back in tier list format. But that's not it. We've also found, I've been saying this for a while, that I think that I could do a really good job of crafting like the perfect fad diet and then running with it and popularizing it. And I think I found the perfect one. It really speaks to what people are grasping onto as of late on Instagram. I had a little bit of help from a popular content creator in getting this done. So shout out to her. Thank you. But I think I found the perfect fad diet for myself, the gifted team, to popularize and really bring into the mainstream. We're also going to chat about impressive feats. I told you guys, feats of strength. It's coming back. Obviously, the Olympics. We got to talk about some Olympic stuff. I have some hot takes on Olympics, specifically gymnastics. And another impressive feat that's outside of physical performance, but that's going to be prize farming. So I've recently stumbled on the prize farming, has made it into my algorithm. So I've been getting some really good stuff on my Explore page there. I'm going to show you the favorite one that I found in the last couple of weeks. And always, we wrap up with some helpful tidbits. We're going to do a research review on a popular supplement that I'm seeing more and more of. We're also going to discuss an unrelated trend that I've been seeing a lot of that I need some help on. I got some help from the girls on the team, but I'd like to learn more from you guys. And last but not least, what to expect as a lifestyle client, how to get the most out of being a lifestyle client from, Steven himself. So Coach Tran has given us a little bit of a back and forth, a little bit of question to ask yourself is, how do I get the most out of being a lifestyle client? This episode is brought to you by the Space Coast Classic. Yes, we are back for year 2. This is Brevard County's premier CrossFit competition, programmed by yours truly. So it's every kind of quote-unquote fun that you could ever want it to be. It's just the challenge that you want. You sign up for a CrossFit competition, you're like, I want to challenge myself. I don't want to see the same workouts that I do in class every single day, the same rep schemes, the same movements and combinations. I want to challenge my fitness in a new way. That's what we believe is important in a CrossFit mixed modal, not allowed to say CrossFit, mixed modal fitness, functional fitness competition. The dates on that are November 16th and 17th. You can find more information at the links below in the video description or show notes if you're watching it somewhere else. Make sure you rate and review us. 5-star reviews always take us far. If you're over on YouTube, just hit that thumbs up button, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, do all of those things. Those really feed the algo. Yum, 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 yum. Exactly what it wants. Make sure that you're subscribed to us over on Instagram, gifted_HQ, and all of our branches, specifically gifted_academics for all of your certification prep needs. Our big offering this week, it's going live next week. We are doing a back to school coaching giveaway. Get ready to tag your friends, your family, your coworkers, all of that. If you are following the @gifted_HQ page over on Instagram, you will see that. This is open to current clients or otherwise. So if you're looking to win some free stuff, it's as simple as a tag and a share. You're literally 2 clicks away, tag and a share, from winning some prizes. Fun prizes over there, hundreds of dollars in value on those prizes. So don't miss out. All right, let's get into it today. That's enough ad read. That's enough intro. I want to jump right into what I promised on the front half of the show as we kick off memes and things.
Memes and things.
So tier list. I love tier lists. You guys love tier lists. Some of the best content on the internet, I think, is how are we going to rank these items? Now, if you've been watching the podcast recently, you've seen my descent into madness has recently taken a turn. Thank you mostly to Jimmy for sending me this content. Seeing a lot of content from women. It's like, what I eat in a day to keep a slim tummy. You guys have seen that content on the podcast before, and it's crazy fiber and sugar alcohol and baking with weird stuff. And I was thinking, you know what? Let's put together a tier list of the best foods that I can think of that'll make you poop in your pants. So these are fitness-related products that I see frequently advertised to me, or I've seen them get popular in the past. I also ask my clients what they think the best ones are to help you really just blow your booty out. All right, sweet. Let's get into it. These are in no specific order. I kind of just spitballed through these together as I could, as I thought of them. And then I asked Jimmy, I asked Jake, I asked my clients, my group chat as well. So crowdsourced here from the Team Squat Father folks over in the WhatsApp. If you're a client, you're watching this and you're not in the WhatsApp, just shoot me a message and I will add you. You don't want to miss out on stuff. So we'll start things off with an absolute classic down there in the bottom left. That classic is the Quest bar. So early on in Quest bar's career, there was a little bit of a scandal. I don't know really what came of it. I don't know the exact specifics of it, but essentially the fiber that they were using was, had more calories than they thought. They weren't declaring it, so they had to switch it up. As of today, or as of my last checking of this, Quest is currently using insoluble corn fiber or some form of insoluble fiber in their recipe. So if you add up the calories, if you add up the macros on a Quest bar, you will notice that they're wrong. Still, to this day, they're a little bit closer, but not quite. I think a Quest bar has something like 21 grams of fiber in it, or it might be like 20 grams of carbs and like 18 grams of fiber. It's like, for if you're a woman, it's your full day of fiber. If you're a man, it's 3/4 of it in a single sitting, purely insoluble. I was telling someone that I was talking to a client. I was talking to Aaron Helligman, a client of mine the other day. And he was asking me, what would be the negatives of basically getting all of your fiber from supplements. Supplements largely use insoluble fiber, which is essentially a street sweeper straight through your gut, taking everything with it. So Quest bar, 20 grams of that straight to the gut. Most people report that their bowel movements are swift and violent after that. Just because it is such a classic, it's been around for so long, it's been wreaking havoc on people's guts and butts for as long as I can remember. Quest bar goes directly in S tier. It's got everything going for it. It's got insoluble corn fiber. The macros are wrong. It's a classic. People have been eating this and letting it turn their buttholes inside out for years now. Quest bar 100% is S tier. Now, okay, the ranking system here is, how are we going to rank these things? First and foremost is the effect that it's going to have on your digestion. That is the most important part of the ranking. Quest nails it. The second part of the ranking is purely subjective. Do I think that it is funny, or that it's going to, really crush your butt in the way that I think? And last but not least is, what effect is it having on the industry as a whole? How widespread is the use of this currently as we stand today? That's my ranking system. It could change as we go here. All right, up next is a personal favorite of people when they are, making their fitness-based coffees, which are these skinny syrups. So skinny syrup would be your 0-calorie, pure sugar alcohol, xylitol, sorbitol, something like that, in an aqueous solution that you put into your coffee for a 0-calorie sweetener or 0-calorie flavor. Sugar alcohols on their own definitely have a laxative effect. The problem with those is that you just need so much to induce that laxative effect. So people will say, I take sugar alcohols and my stomach doesn't feel great, but I'm not reporting like that true laxative effect. So back in the day, pure protein bars, like the ones they sell at Costco, I think they sell them at BJ's too. Costco, BJ's, like I'm sure they sell them other places as well, but the pure proteins had like 22 or 23 grams of sugar alcohol in them, and they actually had to put on the label like sugar alcohol is known to have a laxative effect. It seems to be like when you exceed that 40-gram range that you see a little bit of those gastrointestinal situations arise. So skinny syrups, I think I'm going to put in B tier. They are widespread. A ton of people are using these. They're very, 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 popular right now. They've been popular for a very long time. The brand changes. How they make it doesn't change. Still straight sugar alcohols in there. I just think that the amount that you would need to consume on a daily basis to actually wreak havoc on your digestive system is so much that these go into B tier. So they would be A tier. They're A tier if you're drinking 40, 50 grams of them a day, but that's so much. Like a splash in your coffee is like 3 grams. You'd have to be drinking 10, 12, 15 cups of coffee a day with this stuff in it. Most people are just splashing in 5 grams with their coffee and then moving along with their day. So capacity for wreaking havoc on your booty, low, pretty low. So B tier. Up next is the most disgusting. Do I plant my flag in the ground on this one? I think I do. The most disgusting fitness, health, nutrition product ever created, which is Walden Farms calorie-free peanut spread. Not widely used, not widely enjoyed. Tastes like throw up. When you throw up in your mouth, you spit it out, and maybe you don't have any water, and like swallow a little bit. This is probably making people want to throw up themselves, but you can get the taste if you do that. That is what this stuff tastes like. It is like acidic. It is like vinegary, somehow acidic and vinegary all at the same time. It's like weirdly not sweet, not at all savory. And I had we'll call him a friend of a friend, who during a contest prep would eat about this makes me want to throw up, would eat about a quarter of it. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to make it through this. This is turning my stomach. Glad I didn't eat breakfast before recording this. Pure coffee. Just coffee, no breakfast, straight into the recording. But he would eat like a quarter jar of it on a daily basis with a spoon, straight out of it. So if you've ever used this stuff, it's not thick like peanut butter. It's like super, super watery. It's like you can't even call it a spread. If you put it on bread, it would just like soak into the bread. Again, I'm going to make myself throw up. So the ingredients here, it's not a ton of fiber, but it is a ton of sugar, alcohol, a ton of weird additives to get it to be peanut-esque, while also having 0 calories. I'm going to put it in, I'm going to put it in D tier. I'm going to put it in D tier. I just don't think that anyone is actually eating it. I'm not even sure anyone remembers it. Walden Farms products as a whole would probably be A tier. So they're like, they're coffee creamers, they're sugar-free jellies. I used to love those things when I was prepping. So Walden Farms products as a whole, I would put those in A tier, possibly even S tier, because they're so near and dear to my heart. But for the sake of just the whipped peanut butter spread, we're going to go with D tier. Up next is Muscle Egg. Again, a brand that was very, very popular 5 or 6 years ago. You really don't hear much from them now. It's essentially flavored egg whites. So you can get like a pumpkin spice egg whites and you can drink it. Very, very popular. I think that in terms of wreaking havoc on your gut, you're probably not going to poop your pants from this stuff, but you will have the rancid sulfur farts that come with a very high egg consumption. Those sulfur farts would then be flavored. So you've got like mint chocolate sulfur egg farts, pumpkin spice sulfur egg farts, pineapple upside down cake, sulfur egg white farts. So I do think this was really popular back in the day. I just think it's kind of fallen out of favor. I don't think it's going to make you poop your pants. I have heard that it actually tastes pretty good. I'm just going to put it there in C tier just because I don't think people are using it as much anymore. Up next is the Alani Nu Gummy Series. I made an entire video on this in my reels. It's buried way down in my reels. But these are very similar to the skinny syrups, just absolutely loaded with sugar alcohols and insoluble fibers. It's crazy that they make these things actually taste good and have a reasonable consistency when the first two ingredients are like inulin, first three ingredients, inulin, chicory root fiber, and xylitol. Those are your first three ingredients. So I honestly think that the insoluble fiber probably gives it the body to not be a liquid. How they turn it into a gummy is very surprising to me. But each one of these bags has anywhere from, I think it's like 30 to 40 grams of either insoluble fiber and sugar alcohol, or the combination of the two. So we're really hitting the upper limit in terms of what is recommended from, the GI specialists. So I do think that this is very popular. It comes from a popular brand. It has all the capacity to blow your booty out. But me personally, I don't love sweets. I don't love sweet stuff, really. More of a savory guy than anything. I'm going to give it A tier. Tremendous ability to make you poop your pants. Very popular because it's from a brand like Alani. I think Smart Sweets would be a more popular brand than this. I just had already done a video about this one, so it was near and dear to my heart. I'm going to give them A tier because it has all the capacity to really, really destroy your booty butt. Up next, a fad that kind of got super popular and then faded out, and that was baked goods with black beans. So taking a full can of black beans, blending it with like some Splenda, some sort of weird food stabilizer, cocoa powder, and then baking it up and calling it a brownie. These things had zero margin for error. Oh yeah, you got to put some whey protein powder in there as well. I think you put whey protein powder in there. We also have whey protein desserts on here as well. So we'll just talk about the black beans for now. But the margin for error was literally like as small as it can get on these, because they were either underbaked and then it was just basically like a cocoa powder black bean pudding. Ugh, disgusting. Make sure you don't get the seasoned black beans. Or it was just like protein bean brick, like the hardest thing ever. And it tastes really good if you've nuked your taste buds with like hard dieting. I also think if you struggle to get your fiber in daily, this might be a good way to trick your body into getting that in. Problem is, when you're super, super hungry and you got a plate of brownies in front of you, but those brownies have 40 grams of fiber, you can get yourself in trouble in a hurry. I'm going to put these in B tier. They are a little bit more on the natural side. So the capacity for absolute rectum demolishing is low, relatively low. Plenty of people eat lots of baked beans throughout the day, and I just don't think it's as popular as it used to be. Ryan, have you ever made black bean brownies? I have. I used to make a carrot oat loaf every morning, like protein powder and instant coffee in it. It's pretty good at the time, I think, because, again, I had nuked my taste buds with prep dieting. I even tried to put black beans in it once. Consistency was off. I went back to my carrots. All right, up next is everyone's favorite. You know this has to be in S tier with no debate, no discussion, and that is detox tea with any brand. I'll take any brand. Herbalife, Slim Tummy, don't care what it is. This stuff goes directly into S tier. How does it slim your tummy? How does it make your waist smaller? How does it cause you to lose weight rapidly? Well, it's the only thing that you're eating, or drinking. So in most of these diets, most of these cleanses. So it's the only thing. So carbohydrates and water are going to be purged out because you're not really getting any calories or carbohydrates to replace those. And most of these are one step removed from a laxative tea. So shit uncontrollably, don't eat any actual food, and you lose 20 pounds in a week. And then you gain it all right back. But detox teas, because of the amount of content that I've made around them, because of the amount of questions that I've answered around them. Absolutely a S tier right there. They're not going to go away anytime soon. It's just some weird misconception about tea as a whole, where it's like tea is healthy. Like, you ask people, just second order logic them. Just take them from tea is good for you, healthy. Why? And they just crumble. They just, well, it's got stuff in it. The Chinese and the Japanese drink a lot of it, and they're one of the healthiest cultures in the world. Do the Japanese and the Chinese do anything else that maybe makes them healthy? Walk, sedentary lifestyle, not so much, calorie controlled, not over consuming ultra processed foods? No? Just the tea? Got it. Skinny tea, detox tea, S tier, without a doubt. Next one is actually very, very near and dear to me because of recent events. So I just had a flight to LAX from MCO, 5.5 hour flights. I didn't do the best job packing food. So on that flight, I was doing updates and playing Monopoly at the same time and I drank 2 Diet Cokes, a coffee, and I ate a complete cookie. And that was all I had on the flight. And then we landed, and I forgot to fill up my water bottle, so I didn't really have a lot of water either. The absolute brick of congestion, of blockage in my gut from that combination, the 20 grams of fiber from the complete cookie mixed with God's nectar, Diet Coke, and a coffee, trying to push things along, really, really made for a bad event in my gut. Complete cookies are absolutely popular. Very much so. I still see people eating these all the time, talking shit about them all the time on the internet. These are A tier. They're going right next to. They just don't have that like classic staying power yet. Not yet. All right, I'm going to put protein powder desserts in with black bean brownies. I think they are popular. Not sure they have the gut busting power that we're looking for. I mean, kind of the same argument. Same talk as the black bean brownies. The most disgusting protein powder dessert that you can make is when people mix almond milk with protein powder and baking soda, and then this makes me want to throw up. I do not like the thought of this. And then they microwave it for like 30 seconds, and it's like a ooey gooey protein powder amalgamation grossness of mug cake. That's fucking mug cake. Just because it looks like a cake and it's in a mug, that doesn't make it a mug cake. That's one of my big pet peeves in fitness, nutrition, these kind of things, is like, people are like, it's just like real ice cream. It's fucking not. It's not like real ice cream. It's not like real ice cream at all. Real ice cream is real ice cream. Halo Top is something else. I should have put Halo Top on here. I feel like Halo Top's not as popular as it used to be. People not talking. Everybody's got their Ninja Creamy. I bet the creators of Halo Top hate the Ninja Creamy. Hate it. All right, next is one that I just think is an abomination. I think Italian people should be furious. I think people who, not me, but people who love pizza should not be on board with this, should be actively in the streets protesting it. And that is anything with cauliflower replacing actual flour, right? So this one is cauliflower crust pizza. I don't think a lot of people are doing this anymore. Again, I think it's fallen out of favor. It's not super crazy high in fiber. It's definitely higher in fiber than a regular crust. Most part, this is just like blend up some cauliflower, mix it with some regular flour. Now your pizza crust has half the carbs. It doesn't get me excited. It's stupid. I wish people would stop doing it. I wish people would just eat regular pizza crust and balance that in with their day. But I get it. I'm going to put it with muscle egg. It doesn't excite me. It doesn't really make you blow your butt out too bad. But it's going in C tier with muscle egg. All right, up next is not a food item. It is a supplement, and it is going straight in S tier purely for comedic value alone, and that is supplementation with baking soda or sodium bicarbonate. In terms of booty blowout power, like If you take too much, it's almost a guarantee that you are going to have a severe gastrointestinal accidental event. You get endurance athletes that hear, baking soda has these great buffering benefits. And if you're in that fast glycolysis range of like maximum effort, 3 to 8 minutes, baking soda is one of the most powerful supplements that you can take, directly supplementing the main buffering system of the muscle, the bicarbonate system, increasing the storage capacity there. Pay attention to your dosing. Start low, build slow. If you take too much, especially in your first bout, a lot of dookie, it's going to make its way out. So definitely comedic value, definitely blows your booty out, definitely has staying power in terms of this ain't going nowhere. People are going to keep supplementing with it. People are going to keep getting it wrong. Last but not least is the Fiber One bar. That one's going in A tier. Again, same principle as the Alani gummies and the complete cookie. It tastes pretty good. It's very, very easy to overdo, and it's jam-packed with insoluble fiber. I had a client once who had a bad issue with night eating during dieting phases. He would wake up and he would eat an entire box of Fiber One brownies, 8 in a pack, 14 grams of fiber in each one. Basic math tells me that's 112 grams of insoluble. I think they use most. I would say it's probably, we're just going to say it's all insoluble fiber, of 100% insoluble fiber. It's like a week's worth of insoluble fiber. And then you go straight to bed after that. You wake up, have your first cup of coffee, and what comes out of your body, I don't even know, is a sin, is just danger, pain, suffering, all of it. Fiber One bars, straight to A tier. That concludes this. What did I miss? I know for a fact that I missed some really good foods that should have been on this list, but if you can think of any, some booty blowout classics, make sure you put those in the comments down below. If I get enough, maybe we'll do a re-tiering of this list right here. Up into our next one. I told you guys, I have a pot. You guys are just going to think this is some like dumb fitness influencer here, but she's actually put me on to something that I think is the fad diet that I'm going to create. And that is the masculinization by removing sugar from your diet. Boo's got some stuff to say. Boo, shut up. People of the podcast, tell Boo, shut the hell up. All right, roll it. Tiffany, good content, not fitness content at all. Short clips, trolling. I wish it had captions, because I can't hear it. There we go. Not 100% true. Start to finish, factual information. If you're a man, you don't eat sugar. Fruit? Are you kidding? Are you kidding? Fruit? No. Cookies? No. Pastries? No. Sweet potatoes? No. Eat a white potato like a man. Men do not eat sugar. Sugar is for women and children. So if you are looking to go from current status is I eat a lot of sugar, beta male, up to alpha male, which is like, I don't eat processed sugars, but fruit contains micronutrients and those are good for you. You're trending towards beta male. You want to move up to sigma male, 0 sugar in the diet. 0. We're talking about meats and vegetables, and they need to be the right vegetables so they don't have any sugar in them. This is my diet that I am creating, that I am popularizing, courtesy of my friend Tiffany here. Tiffany, thank you. What I'm going to name it, I haven't figured it out yet. If you put that in the comments, that would help as well. I stole the concept from someone. I would love to steal the name from someone else so that I have to do a grand total of 0 work on this one. So that's it. The alpha male diet is 0 sugar. Sugar, women and children only. And by children, I mean anyone under the age of 6. When you become a 7-year-old boy, it's meats and vegetables from there. No, well, my kid likes fruit roll-ups and gummies. And what do you want your kid to grow up to? You want him to be an alpha male running the world? I don't think so. Cut the sugar, up the meat. That's how we make our next step to being alpha and hopefully one day sigma males. This is it. I didn't have a lot to say on this one. Not a lot of notes. Just wanted to throw it out there that this is my new fad diet that I am creating. Let me take a second. Move this up. There we go. All right. Up next, we're actually going to talk about some impressive feats that I have found recently. I have always known quite a bit. I shouldn't say quite a bit. I've always known some things about women's gymnastics because my beautiful wife is a former gymnastics coach. So that's what she did for most of her life before becoming a stay-at-home mom. She was a gymnastics coach. She was quite good at it. We used to watch gymnastics. And at first, I was like, this stuff's kind of lame. And then I watched some of the things that these people are actually able to do. It's probably one of the more impressive strength and power sports, pure power output sports, especially the floor routines that they do. So everyone's favorite, Simone Biles here, shines on floor. I'm not going to try and talk about what she actually does here, but I don't think people have a super good grasp of like the forces that are actually being applied to the ground and the body here. When Simone sticks these skills, this is like bone-shattering amounts of floor. Yes, they're not doing it on like concrete or anything like that, but still, this is probably, I think I talked to, I forget his name. I had a gymnastics guy on the podcast a while ago. I forget his name. Super smart guy. But he was talking about, I think he said like 20 times body weight going through the body when you land these tricks. And then I think it's what I think that people miss on this. I know I'm kind of rambling here, but I think people miss on this video is, if we're letting it run here, it's the tumbling into the huge layout trick there. It's absorbing, limiting that amortization phase, going so fast from eccentric to concentric, and then being able to produce the necessary force to get that high off the ground. People simply aren't going to understand anything like that. It's very, very similar to Olympic weightlifting in the amount of force that you have to put into the ground and then move your body through space. People aren't going to be, they're not, it's when you're outside of exercise science, when you're outside of exercise physiology, you look at that and you say, that's very good. That's very impressive. But other people do similar things. So you lose kind of how grand this actually is from a muscular output, force, strength standpoint. So it's not lost on me. However, gymnastics, Olympic gymnastics. Thanks for coming. Thanks for watching. I have a suggestion. The dance shit that they do, completely cut that out. No more dancing. The artistry is in the aerial skills that you're able to demonstrate. Largely, you're being scored on the aerial skills that you are able to demonstrate. How hard they are, how clean you're able to perform them. When you dance in the middle of them, in between passes, I think the idea is that it's active recovery. You know what's better than active recovery? Giving them 10-to-1 rest to work ratios and literally letting them sit down between each tumbling pass. The skills that you'll see from these athletes, if you allow them to hit each pass fresh, rested, from a bioenergetic standpoint, recovered, and the decrease in injury that you'll see because you're having people or letting people fully recover between each pass will be dramatic. I understand. We've always done the dancing. We've always done this part and that part, and it's supposed to be artistic and pleasant to watch. Fuck that. I want to see them do insane shit. And the best way to do that is to allow them to recover between each pass. So cut out the dancing. We ain't dancing no more. It's 2024. We got nothing to dance for. The state of the world, we don't live in a dancer's world anymore. We live in a do crazy shit kind of world. So let Simone rest. Let's see what she can do. Let's just see what she can pull off. Because I think it'll blow some people's minds. Not to be outdone, the men's gymnastics side of things. This is a side that I hadn't watched a lot of until I was sitting on the couch the other night when Jimmy was taking a shower and I had nothing better to do. So I was scrolling through one of my favorite new accounts on Instagram, China_gymnastics. I think this is the video that I saw. Who can watch this and even comprehend what's going on here? CrossFitters will bitch to no end when the straps on the rings are long. This guy's straps are like fucking 30 feet long. And he's doing, and hold it, insane. The shoulders, the back, strength, stability, holding your body weight on rings in these positions, this iron cross that he's holding, the false grip that he's holding, there's no amount of chalk that I could use to be able to hold these rings for this entire time. My grip's given out after 6 ring muscle ups, and I can literally let go at the top and re-grip and stuck it. So this is one of my favorite pages now. I scrolled through this for way longer than I should have. The ring stuff is amazing. The bars are absolutely wild. The parallel bars. Get upset Jimmy by calling them parallel bars, not parallel bars. So I do think that what has become popular right now is the guy from the U.S. On pommel horse. But I watched his. Cool. But your boy, I'm a China __ gymnastics kind of guy now. Really just the rings. The rings are absolutely insane. Wild. The shoulder stability, strength, endurance that you need to hold those positions, hit those positions over and over and transition from one skill to the next the way they do without coming down. I have no corrections. No corrections compared to the artistic gymnastics side. This is a simple one. This one came across my feed. I'm going to throw this in the podcast. Americana. This podcast, very American. American-based, America proud, live in the great state of Florida, which encapsulates what America is supposed to be. This right here is true Americana, and that is growing big-ass crops. Look at this pumpkin. Look at this pumpkin. Sets up the camera to watch it grow. It's connected, I think, to all those leaves in the back, and the leaves give it like its nutrition, I guess. The thing gets a fucking blanket. Look at that. Gets a big comforter on it. I wonder what someone said, what's the purpose of the can? I think the can is for perspective on how large it is. 30 days, 1170 pounds. No, I think 32 days. What did it say at the beginning? Did it say 40 days? Could have been 40 days. That math don't check out. I could watch this video 100 times. 100 times I could watch this. Look at this thing. The thing is fucking massive. Massive. You know what else? Pumpkin is an underutilized food. People are eating a lot of squashes. They're eating a lot of sweet potatoes. They're eating a lot of white potatoes. Pumpkin is a great source of carbs. Tastes good. Good source of fiber. And you can grow one that's 1,200 pounds. You know how long 1,200 pounds of pumpkin will last you? I assume it's very, very simple to grow something like this. Not complex at all to basically, set a world record here. I don't know if this is a world record. But weighing and naming, feeding my giant Thunder Shark. He named his giant pumpkin Thunder Shark. I hadn't even seen that before, but I do love it. Let's see what's going on in the comments. Is the blankie to keep it warm? To keep bugs and keep the bugs off of it. 41 pounds a day. More like 41 a week? No, I don't think so. He's got a time lapse on it, dude. How much water does it? Oh, that's a good question. That pumpkin is incorporating about 5 gallons of water every day. Wow. Does it taste good, or is it only for contests? Pumpkins this big don't taste particularly good, although they can be fed to animals like pigs. Pie pumpkins are generally quite small for better flavor. Is that its emotional support can? There to show the size. Yes, that's what I thought. Where are you hiding the air pump? Haha. He's just pumping it up. You're not American. This person can't be an American. What is the purpose of this? The purpose of this is to do what Americans do, and that's grow big ass shit and say, look how big this thing is. All right, that's all I got on the big pumpkin. Let's actually get into a look into my stream of consciousness. So I found this. This came up on my Facebook page. It's a bad screenshot of this girl. So whoever she is, I'm sorry. Number one. And I asked the girls in the gifted chat, what is with this like greasy look that women are rocking? This grease maxing, if you will. And Carrie and Katie and Carolyn and Sam all, it's a dewy look and it's supposed to look natural. And, it's the no makeup look is really popular right now. Just kind of looks a little bit greasy to me. From now on, we're calling this grease maxing. And that is what your favorite female fitness influencer is doing right now. That's the trend, getting extra greased up. But as I was looking at this, I was like, man, I haven't heard people talk about chasteberry in a while as a supplement. Man, I wonder what the more recent research is saying about chasteberry. So just a shameless plug here of a source that I often use for my nutrition and supplementation information, and that is examine.com. I see an ingredient that I haven't heard a lot of, don't really know where the research is at on it. I go straight to chasteberry. So first and foremost, it's most often used for women's health, relieving premenstrual symptoms. So PMS symptoms, if they're severe, people recommend this Vitex Agnus castus. It's from the castor tree, the chasta tree. Most people will just call it chasteberry in formulations. So it's a supplement derived from berries, and it's supposed to be, it's shown to be effective at reducing hot flashes, bloating, irritability, sleep disturbances, depressions, various mood disorders, and even cramping associated with PMS. So it's supposed to be a really good supplement for alleviating symptoms of PMS. I have seen it used in like hormone regulation protocols from coaches and whatnot. That's how I've seen it used most, not so much to alleviate PMS symptoms. You can say that those two are tied together. More times than not, women are reaching for this when they hit some sort of fat loss plateau or some sort of very high spike in water retention, most likely related to diet-influenced increases in cortisol. Diet influences changes in sex hormones, maybe, regulation of that. They'll reach for chasteberry. So that's how I see it used most often. I've had clients actually use it in the past. There does seem to be a bit of a lack of evidence here. However, here is your dosing. If you do want to go this route, if you're looking at supplements that have chasteberry in it, just make sure in it. Is it a Tuesday? No, it's a Wednesday in it. 150 to 250 milligrams is what you want to see there. Base dose. And then you can kind of look down here. So examine, unless you pay for it, it won't tell you the rating on all of these. But what you can do is you can essentially just go here. You can click one study and it'll show you the study that actually gave you the guide or the summary. I've looked through all of these. I used this one mostly just because there was 10 studies there. But I pretty much used those studies and I pulled them up over here. We'll look at those in a second. But from what I read, it looks like it's most effective in relieving breast tenderness or breast swelling. I forget what the exact definition of what that was that I saw in the research, but breast tenderness and breast swelling, it seems to have a very strong effect or a moderate improvement there. Small improvement on everything else. And a lot of these studies that we're going to see here are very much I don't want to call them flawed because they're doing the best that they can, but when you have things like fatigue or depression or irritability or sleep quality, really, anxiety symptoms, a lot of this is subjective in nature. So when you're not double blinding these studies or placebo controlling these studies, these women are essentially getting a supplement that they think is going to improve their anxiety, their depression symptoms, their fatigue, their irritability around their cycle. This is a supplement that's going to improve your PMS, reported to improve PMS symptoms if they do any base research. And then they hand them a survey after taking it for a couple of weeks. It's like, don't your anxiety symptoms feel better? Well, yeah, I guess they do. I did take this supplement. So I can see a lot of these studies having a little bit of bias in them, a little bit of issue with repeatability, controlling, and also with the individual nature of symptoms around the cycle, PMS in general. I can see a lot of women, reporting mixed effects of a supplement like chasteberry. So let's look at some of the research that I found here. This is just a general article on chasteberry as a whole as a supplement. No clinical data to support the use of chasteberry for reducing sexual desire. Use for menstrual irregularities and fertility disorders are weak. Not well supported as a substance to enhance breast milk production, but it is well tolerated. Very few symptoms. Caution is advised. Really need to standardize dosing. Look at some clinical studies there. This article also talks about where was it? PMS and cyclical breast discomfort is what they call it. So a lot of studies here, and it does seem that with cyclical breast discomfort, there's definitely improvement there. PMS symptoms, mild to moderate effect on these subjective surveys that they're doing. So a little bit of like a overview there. Here was a meta-analysis of the double-blind randomized control trials. You'll see out of the 21 clinical trials, 3 studies with a total sample size of 448 females fulfilled the inclusion criteria. So 21 total clinical studies on chasteberry as of whenever this came out. When was this? 2016? Did I read that right? 2019. 29. Oops. I don't want to go to the journal. So as of 2019, 21, 3 of them actually filled the inclusion criteria. But this one actually does report that we're in these double-blind, placebo-controlled studies. Out of these, it outperformed. So the efficacy of these special extracts to a placebo was compared, confirmed to be effective in the reduction of PMS symptoms. So it looks like it does help compared to placebo. More trials are going to be needed, but from this, a lot of these studies wouldn't be used because there was incomplete reporting. But from these 3 studies that were double-blind, placebo-controlled, seems to improve. Effect size, to be determined, highly individualized by the individual. What we're measuring, not so objective, a little bit more on the subjective side. This was an open label study, so these Japanese women knew what they were getting. This is the one that I was talking about, possibly some bias there. Improved PMS symptoms when compared to placebo. First study to report that VAC extract was working in Japanese patients. Might have been the first one to actually be done. No substantial adverse effects. There are some issues of allergic dermatitis with this dosing, but, positive effect here. So, open label, they knew what they were getting. They told the people that were performing the study that they thought their symptoms were getting better. 20 milligram VAC extract. Again, these are the delivery method for this VAC is varied. compared to your traditional chasteberry supplement. So standardization in these studies, not awesome. Double blinding and placebo controlling, again, not great. Subjective nature of the outcomes that we're looking at, not my favorite, but still seems to be somewhat effective. Same thing here, outperformed placebo, considered an effective, well-tolerated treatment for the relief of symptoms of mild and moderate PMS. So this article from, when was this published? Doesn't even say. But whenever this was published, seems good. Placebo-controlled, double-blinded study, well-tolerated, moderate relief of symptoms. We like that. So where do I stand on this supplement here itself? Where do I stand on VAC, Vitex Agnus Castus, or chasteberry? This is kind of a can't hurt, might actually help. If you do suffer from symptoms of PMS that you think are abnormal compared to your female counterparts, supplementation with chasteberry may help. If your weight loss is plateaued, if you have severe hormone regulation issues, especially around your cycle, I'm not sure that this is going to be the fix-all that you're looking for, but it's definitely worth a try if you are a woman that suffers from these things. That wraps up memes and things, and we are moving into our Instagram content from the team. This week, we've got a post from Mr. Stephen Tran himself. Stephen had a question for the folks of the internet, his Monday curiosity. When you hire me or any other lifestyle coach, what are you hiring them for? Hiring them for results? You're hiring them for guidance and expertise. Two camps that you can fall into as a lifestyle client. Option A, someone signs up, they want results, they're done when they get those results, or they bail before they get those results, or they feel that the results aren't happening fast enough, so they don't stick with it. Option A is a lot of clients, they want a result. They see a look, they see a picture, they see a celebrity, they see their friend went through something, they want that result. Do you want to learn about the process? No. Do you want to acquire skills and habits that'll sustain your results? No. I want a result. That's it. I'm gone when I get there, or I'm gone because I'm frustrated before getting there. Option B is that you hire a coach for their guidance and their expertise. It's what a coach is supposed to be. We are not a service, or we are not a product. We are a service. A product gets you something. I go to the car dealership to buy a car. That is me looking for results, the result being I'm going to leave here with a car. Option B is what coaching actually is, which is a service, a customer service, a relationship in which information is freely passed from the leader, from the mentor, from the guide, the coach, down to the individual so that they can get results and then keep those results for a lifetime or continue to push in the direction of getting more results, making more progress over time. So if you are watching this and you're looking, thinking, do I want to hire a coach or not? Which camp are you in? Are you option A or are you option B? Are you trying to get a single result and then you're done? Or are you trying to learn about the process in a way that meets you where you're at so that you can understand, apply those things to yourself to get results long term, and then what we at Gifted want you to do more than anything else, which is then spread and disseminate that information to your friends, your family, and your coworkers so that we as a group can combat the single biggest problem facing the world today, which is obesity and a sedentary lifestyle. So when you hire a coach, think, am I option A or am I option B? And if I'm option A, would I be better suited, possibly not working with a coach, maybe buying a single product that pushes me in the right direction? Or can I fix my mindset? Can I transition where I'm at mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, to take the result off the table and say, you know what, I'm okay with a slower approach because I'm going to learn along the way and these results are going to stick. Spoiler alert, you want to be in camp B. Trust me. We've worked with thousands of clients at Gifted. We know that B is where you Dang it. B, option B, is where you want to be. I hate that, but we're there. Great post from Steven. I think this asks, a lot of this content creation stuff should be, it's very reactionary and Haktua related, but a lot of content, in my opinion, should be a more along the lines of this. Forcing people to ask questions, to explore deeper. Why am I hiring a coach? What do I want? Do I just want results? Or do I want to get better over time and then let that stick? All right, Jake, we've got our mid-roll gifted ad, but we know it's not a gifted ad. And for the last couple weeks, I've told you what AI song I want, and that's rude. That's inconsiderate. Now it's time for you to tell me, to tell the people what AI song you want to hear. So what is it? What's our song for the week? Let it rip. I'm sure it'll be a banger. It's always a banger. It's very frequently a banger.
Rollers float when the 60 programs holler, feel the tremble. Keto gummies hitting harder than the 12-inch symbols. Fiber got my stomach drop a quake level size. They couldn't predict this quick, no Nostradamus. Drive by mission that hand stakes high, but now my balls playing James, no slide. Eyes on the target, done steely guns harder, but fiber in my gut turning powers to water. That's time in 10 L's when your mission derails. Going from days to rhymes to bathroom wells. Pooping my pants then, oh what a fail. G-folk anthem of distractions to detail. Windows down, shots ringing. It's mayhem on the streets, but my intestines ringing. BRB emergency seat. Can't keep my posture slumping and speaking defeat. Bet those Cheeto gummies on a mission can't be beat. From gangsta pride, so bubbling insides. Gotta laugh it off, can't hide or deny. G-folk bass lines can't master odor, but out here composure's colder. Never showed that time entails when your mission derails. Going from gangsta rhymes to bathroom wells. Pooping my pants net, oh what a fail. G-folk anthem of distractions to detail. That time entails when your mission derails. Going from gangsta rhymes to bathroom wells. Pooping my pants net, oh what a fail. G-folk anthem of distractions to detail. Windows down, shots ringing. It's mayhem on the streets, but my intestines ringing. BRB emergency seat. Can't keep my posture slumping and speaking of feet. Bet those Cheeto gummies on a mission can't be beat. From gangsta pride to rumbling insides. Gotta laugh it off, can't hide or deny. G-funk bass lines can't mask the odor, but out here composure's colder. Never shoulder. Never shoulder. Never shoulder, never shoulder. Never shoulder. That time details when your mission prevails. Going from gangsta prop to bathroom whales. Open my pants, man, oh what a fail. G-funk anthem of distractions to detail.
All right, let's get into our question from Reddit. Comes from account_collector. I love this question. I posted this on my story just to let everyone know that I would be answering this because it's an amazing question. Here we go. It's a doozy. Buckle in because it's going to get fun. I eat up to 4 bagels a day. It's 1,000 calories worth of bagel alone, at least. So your Thomas brand, weird name drop for a brand, but Thomas brand, probably the most common bagel brand, is about 250 calories for their plain bagels. Cinnamon raisin, blueberry, your more flavorful ones are like 280, 290. No flavor was specified here, so account collector, very plain name. So we'll say she likes bagels. We'll say she likes plain bagels. 4 bagels a day, 1,000 calories worth of bagel. Is this bad? I spoke to a nurse that said a bagel for me would be a little treat. What am I supposed to do? Not have 4 little treats a day? You think I can stop at 1 treat? All right, back to it. A bagel for me would be a treat. I wouldn't even eat 1 a day. Wow. This nurse, not even the doctor, the fucking nurse is bagel shaming this lady and suggested wraps instead. Wraps. Basically the exact same thing. Probably about half the calories, but basically the exact same thing. But the wraps really aren't that much better than the bagel when I plug them into my calorie app. Look at this, account collector. Just plugging shit into an app and is smarter than the nurse already. For reference, I'm 26, female, 5 foot, around 120 pounds. So 5 feet, around 120 pounds, maintenance calories. We'll do 15 times body weight. That's 1,800 calories. 1,800 calories a day. That means you're getting at least 1,000 if you're not putting anything on the bagels. You're getting 1,000 calories per day of your 1,800 for maintenance from bagels. You know, what percentage is that? 60? 60% of your total calories coming from bagel, pure carbohydrate. That's not true. What do bagels have? Like 8 grams of protein in them? Incomplete protein, but protein nonetheless. So if you're eating 4 bagels a day, 32 grams of protein, 250-ish, 240-ish grams of carbs. If that's your only food in a day, it's probably not the best. The nurse, like most doctors, like most people in the medical profession, when they talk about nutrition, aren't necessarily wrong. They're not coming at this in bad faith. It's not the worst information when applied to general public or general population individuals, but it needs a little bit more context. So a bagel shouldn't really be a little treat. I don't even know how we classify a little treat. Some people are like, oh, my coffee is a little treat. But I go to the bathroom and I crank my hog, and that's my little treat. So I don't really know. Little treat culture has really morphed. Little treats can be anything. I don't think a bagel is a treat necessarily in my definition. I just don't think 4 bagels a day, 1,000 plus calories when your maintenance is 1,800 is the best way to go about that. You've left very, very little calories in your day for protein and for fats. As a woman, most women tend to, trend towards eating higher fats than higher carbohydrates. So I would say, what's your goal? Weight loss, weight gain, weight maintenance. If you're like, I need to gain weight and bagels are easy for me to get down, hell yeah. 4 bagels a day is awesome, especially if you're getting enough protein. It's just that the context here is missing. So the nurse, when hearing, I also want to know how this came up. Like, you just walk in and the nurse is like, hey, I'm Beatrice. I'll be your nurse for the day. And you're like, I eat 4 bagels a day. Is that okay? I don't know how that came up in conversation, but yeah, if you're trying to gain weight, 4 bagels a day is fine. If you're in a fat loss phase, I think fitting 4 bagels in is tough, especially because you're going to have to be eating under 1,800 calories a day, 1,000 calories from bagels. That's tough to overcome. What I would say, my general advice to this individual is you're probably not getting enough protein in each day. So let's take the bagels down to 2 a day. Let's have some eggs. Let's have some turkey. Dress those bagels up. Open-faced sandwiches all day. 4 meals a day. That's half a bagel. Put some eggs on it. And then for lunch, put some deli meat on it with some cheese. And then at dinner, we're going to have a salmon bagel Benedict, where we put some salmon on top of it. There's an egg on top of that, little hollandaise, if you will. And last but not least, we are going to toast up a bagel so it's crispy, nice and crispy. And we're going to break it down into pieces, and we're going to throw it into some vanilla Greek yogurt at the end of the day for a little bit of crunch with that yogurt to finish off. You've got your 2 bagels a day, you've hit your protein goals, and you're well on track to making that nurse look like the probably overweight, possibly overweight, probably overfat, body fat percentage is too high for general health. You're on the way to making her look like a fool, account collector. You don't have to give up your bagels. Don't let anyone tell you that you should. You just got to temper your intake. Moderate the intake so it matches up with your goals. Answering questions like that is my favorite part of the podcast by far. We all love memes and things, but I love. There's nothing that makes me happier than answering the questions of people on the internet, because man, do they come up with questions that you never thought existed. But that wraps up episode 23. We hope you enjoyed it. If you haven't done so far and you're still listening at this point, make sure you send this to a couple friends. Let them know this is the best fitness podcast on the earth right now. We cover such a wide variety of topics. It would be hard to match what we're doing here. You and I, the GPP loyalist that you are. I'll see you on the next episode. Episode 24, it'll be a good number. Kobe in his prime. Would that be Kobe in his prime, or was Kobe in 8, number 8, his prime? I would say he had 2 primes, just like Mr. Radon himself in Elden Ring. Did he have 2 primes? Or that prime form? That's some nerd shit right there. I haven't really really played the game. I've just been watching people play it. So excuse my ignorance if I upset anybody. We'll see you in the next episode. In the meantime, in between times, and as always, because we love you, stay gifted. Bye-bye.